broadcasting all over Nursing 215. This is your host, Jessa Miguel.
And this is Shakira C. Prodigalidad,
your host for the 2022 MATHinik Debate Olympics.
And before we start our program, here are some introductions.
Standing at the red corner representing mathematics is discovered, Miss Margaret Villarde.
And on the blue corner, representing mathematics is invented, Miss Mary Marilyn Tugade.
Before we start the debate proper, partner, do you have any idea if mathematics is either invented or discovered?
Unbelievable as it may seem, partner, I don't have any background when it comes to the origin of mathematics.
Oh, it seems like we're on the same page. Luckily, I came across some information regarding the said most difficult subject.
Partner, I had some research too in accordance to our debate topic today.
Mathematics is the study of numbers, arithmetic functions, and operations. It is always described to be the hardest subject, as problems dealing with math are often complicated and time-consuming. However, through the centuries, people began to learn patterns and strategy to easily solve math problems, unloading some burdens and hardship involving mathematics.
Mathematics is not used only in terms of academics. No matter where we are and what kind of life we are having, mathematics is always applied in real-life situations. Even if it is described to be difficult academic subject by most student votes, we can't deny that it is an important discovery or creation man has ever encountered.
Now that we have given a short overview about the debate's topic for today, partner, shall we explain the rules for today's debate?
Each speaker is given a time limit of 1 minute with a total number of 3 rounds. The first speaker is chosen through special means, followed by the second speaker to tell their rebuttal.
Speakers will tell their rebuttals alternately and are given the freedom to express their thoughts and opinions about the chosen topic. Is mathematics invented or discovered?
The winner shall be chosen through an online poll and will be rewarded with a house and lot, 1 million peso cash, and a library with math books.
Since the rules are already elaborated, partner, shall we formally start the debate through welcoming the speakers for today?
Yes, partner. Without further ado, please welcome the first speaker for the 2022 MATHinik Debate Olympics, Miss Margaret Villarde.
A pleasant day to each and every one of you. Let me begin this debate with a belief of mine and with a question that is directed to Miss Mary, which is my opponent for today. Math is similar to a language that is used to describe things that already exist. So, with this being said, would math still have to be invented if it is describing something that is already there and works? We all know that the properties of the universe have always existed since the beginning of time. If humans didn't exist, those properties would still be here. We just clearly discovered and learned about them, which means that mathematics is a naturally occurring phenomenon that is discovered by us humans. Lastly, the concepts and methods for understanding physical patterns in the universe, which are again related to math, were always there and never invented. They will always come into play whether we understand them or not. Mathematics does not cease on existing, even if we do.
Good morning, everyone, and to you, Margaret. Now, to address your question, I think the concept of mathematics as a language is a sensible place to start. As what you have mentioned, mathematics is related to a language, and it's because mathematics is actually a language. Let us take it from Strogatz, who is an applied mathematician and an educator in the year 2017, who remarked that when it comes to natural languages like English or Chinese, there is no disagreement over whether these languages are invented or discovered. While it may have been a chaotic, scattered, communal invention through history, these languages are invented regardless. Furthermore, according to Derek Abbott, an electronic engineer and a physicist in the year 2013, all mathematical models are based on approximations. So when models falter, they are modified and new mathematics is invented as needed. This is the creation of the human mind since analytical mathematical statements are suited for the mind. Also, there are endless amount of iterative equations that may be constructed. And if we concentrate on the small portion that produces beautiful fractal patterns, we are only plunging inside ourselves. That's why, if we are unduly focused on mathematics successes without looking at the whole picture, it is easy to fall into the trap of believing that mathematics is magically innate. Thank you.
And that's it for our first round. What are your thoughts, Math audience? Share it through tweeting and liking today's live debate.
We'll be back after a short break.
Math is the only language all human beings share.
Math can better predict financial markets.
Stop a pandemic.
Tell us how jets fly before we even build them.
Math can help us make the world work better.
Here's an equation that can help you get to work on time.
Math can do anything.
Predict mutations.
It's the economy.
Protein coding.
Telematics.
Math can make the world smarter.
Smarter houses.
Smarter medicine.
Smarter systems.
Grocery stores.
Supply chain. Math solves problems.
That's what we're working on. I'm an IBMer.
Let's build
a
Smarter planet.
And we're back. For the second round, please welcome Miss Mary Marilyn Tugade.
Mathematics is a game, says James Brown, a professor emeritus of philosophy at the University of Toronto. Therefore, he believes that the rules of math have the same status as a rule of chess, such as bishops move diagonally, and it's not an objective truth. It's simply a tradition of playing chess. 4 times 2 is 8 is therefore as true as bishop takes g5, checkmate. The rules make really good sense in this context, but 4 times 2 is 8, g5, and the checkmate aren't truly real outside of the game. The fact that the rules of math may be modified, regardless of whether the game improves or worsens, is an intriguing consequence of this viewpoint. All other mathematical theorems are formed on the basis of sets of basic principles known as axioms. If these rules alter, math will follow suit. In addition, we seek out concise, elegant mathematical explanation to make predictions due to our limited brain power. Those assumptions are not certain to be right, and they must always be verified by experiments. This explains that mathematics is indeed an invention. Thank you.
Since you've already said your piece, which is something that I disagree with, then let me prove that mathematics was indeed discovered. I will start with the properties of the universe that I mentioned earlier. First is the ongoing and continuous sequence of events that occur in succession, also known as time. Another is the Nautilus shell's logarithmic spiral that is similar to the spiral of the galaxy and the bottom of a pine cone. Both have patterns that cannot be regarded as a coincidence since they point in the same direction, proving that mathematics is indeed everywhere and some are just waiting to be discovered. If this isn't still enough pieces of evidence, then allow me to provide some more. Do you know that the mathematical constant pi can be found in the length of an average river? The sinuosity of the length along its winding path divided by the distance from source to ocean is approximately 3.14. Furthermore, since you mentioned theorems that were discovered rather than invented, by the way, if you ask how so, I will tell you this. When Alexander Fleming discovered penicillin, he was using laboratory tools. But you see, my dear opponents, according to Mr. Juan Apolinario Reyes from the University of the Philippines, Los Baños in mathematics, the tools to discover the properties of objects that you are studying are logical reasoning. And this is composed of actions and logic rules. These actions are self-evidently true statements, similar to how a statement cannot be true or false at the same time. Subsequently, the tools used to make discoveries in math differ from the physical tools that we see in science. Thus, doing mathematics is just like trying to comprehend or unravel something that has already been there all along.
That ends our second round. Partner, aren't you feeling giddy at the banters of both the speakers?
Yes, I do feel giddy. Both of them are doing a great job at explaining and elaborating their stand, even though I can't choose a side.
It seems that our netizens are having a hard time choosing as well.
Let's get into our third round.
For our last round, again, please welcome our first speaker, Miss Mary Marilyn Tugade.
Nice point there, Miss Velarde, but I beg to disagree because the only explanation mathematics is so well suited to describe the physical world is that we created it specifically for this purpose. It is a creation of the human intellect and we build up mathematics to fit our needs as we go along. There would be no mathematics if the universe disappeared, just as there would be no football, tennis, chess, or any other collection of rules with related structures that mankind invented. As a result, I conclude that all math is dependent on an arbitrary set of rules created to meet our specific requirements. Thus, mathematics isn't discovered. It's invented after all. That would be all. Thank you.
Well said, Mr. Gade. However, to finally end this discussion, I will leave these words to you. Researching and studying mathematics is trying to discover minute details of an ingenious architecture that is by far beyond the capabilities of any human mind. The underlying mechanics of mathematics are, have always been, and always will be an inherent property of the universe. It is a framework of reality that humans discovered as a result of their inquisitiveness. Thus, everything around us is composed and involves mathematics, creating a perfect image in our eyes and minds. As to what Albert Einstein has said, look deep into nature, and then you will understand everything better. Thank you, and may you all have a great day.
And that sums up our debate for today. Partner, did you have a blast listening to our speakers?
Of course, partner. It was by far the best debate I ever hosted. Are you excited to know who's the winner, partner?
You bet I am. The voting will close at exactly January 10, 5 p.m. So make sure to register and vote for the rightful winner.
Before we end our program for today, there are some questions that are left by our dear math viewers via our Twitter and Instagram accounts to be answered by yours truly.
For the first question, how did you come up with the idea to start this debate program?
Since all of us are more inclined into debating or reporting rather than acting or making a short skit, we chose to make a debate program. It was also agreed by all of the members. On to the next question. How did you plan your task? Did you get any support or help?
Collaboration and brainstorming were used to plan the work for our group. During our brainstorming session, Each member of the group contributes task suggestions, and we are all open to new ideas. The members of the group, on the other hand, did not seek nor receive any help and assistance from outside the group. Hence, the tasks as well as efforts and ideas that were put into the said task were all done by the group. And for our last question, what are the challenges that you've encountered while doing this task?
Luckily, there were no challenges encountered during the planning or execution of this task. We may have different schedules or time of availability, but we are able to adjust. We also use the internet and technology efficiently in order to produce this wonderful segment.
And that's it. I know you're sad that our program is ending here.
But that concludes the 2022 MATHinik Debate Olympics. Remember, January 10, 5 o'clock p.m. we'll be back to announce the winner via live stream on Instagram.
Again, these are your hosts for today, Jessa Miguel.
And this is Shakira C. Prodigalidad. Good evening,
Good evening and thank you for watching today's segment.